fishing for breakfast, Bo? Oh, jeez, I just did it. Fishing for breakfast, Tilly. What are they doing? Hey guys, another video, another day. We have another beautiful day here. This one feels like it might be a little bit more emotional for me, so I'm just getting started here. I happen to be out taking my daughter to a riding lesson that she loves to ride horses, always have. Since she was little, she's been completely hooked on them, and I understand why now. It makes a lot of sense. Those are pretty big spiritual beings, in my opinion. On my lap here, we have Nala. Nala's Shih Tzu, and she's 11 years old. I'm going on 12. She's pretty old. She's pretty noisy. Her nickname is Bean. Say hi, Bean. She's got a deviated septum, so you might hear her in the background, and she likes to lick and scratch quite a bit. So just bear with that noise. I'm going to put her off to the side here while I'm making the video. But the video in itself today. So yesterday I talked about how I feel the soul inhabits the body, and there was no better example in my life, or no more obvious way that I was shown than our dog Boba. So it's already starting to trigger me. So the dog that I've been showing in the videos, for my previous videos, is Tilly. She's our new dog. She's 5-month-old German Shepherd, and we love her to death. But Boba was Boba Fetch, actually. Was her full name. We called her Bo. Was our last German Shepherd, who we lost at only 2 years old. Got my crying towel. Give me a second here. So, what I'm not going to do is cut any of this out. What you just saw me do there is a type of breath work that I've been working on. A friend of mine suggested breath work, but I've been doing breath work for a few months, and what I was doing was focusing my conscious intention with the emotions that came up, which are natural emotions and are okay to feel. But what our objective here is to be able to look at those situations and feel those emotions, let them go. And what I'm doing is consciously focusing on my heart center. I'm breathing that emotion into my heart center, and I'm allowing it to be transmuted. So this would be called spiritual alchemy. In psychology terms, it's something else, right? You're just breathing deeply, but they're not teaching you to focus directly on that heart chakra. So, in my opinion, this is a powerful breathwork technique. So you might see me do that a few more times during this video. So I'm not going to cut any of this stuff out. This is important. We all feel this stuff. We all have sadness, and I understand why she came to us now. I completely understand it. It doesn't mean that I don't have the emotions still. And I need to I need to process those emotions. I need to feel them, shine a light on them, and turn them into a positive thing. So, how do we process emotions? How do we process negative trauma thoughts, anything, low vibration, I said negative again, low vibration that comes up in our day. So this morning, I thought of this idea for video last night. I didn't think of it. It was given to me by my higher self. I was outside. I was doing some of my activations out in the screen tent outside so the mosquitoes wouldn't eat me. And it just popped into my head, which I now know is my higher self giving me the information as a download, essentially. So the data is downloaded into my brain, and then it pops up. And my immediate reaction was, I don't want to do that video. That's how you know you should do that video. It's important. So I was crying in the tent last night. I was doing my breath work, dealing with the emotions, and the concept is to shine a light on the reason you're having those emotions. Understand why. And that is a step in the right direction to actually processing it. Shine the light on it, look at it. But when the emotions come up, you feel them and breathe them into your heart center. Now, on these big ones, like Boba and my mother, who I probably won't deal with on camera, and I still have to process a lot of that stuff. My mother's passed, by the way, so I lost track. I was talking about mom. So same concept as Boba. She passed a while back, and I thought I had dealt with it, but of course I haven't, and not completely. But my point is, these bigger ones, they take more than one shot. So some of this little stuff that you deal with every day, these little annoyances and things like I had this morning, I was a little bit irritable because I knew in the background that I had to do this video, and I didn't want to because it's not fun. But when you change your mindset, this is a step in the right direction again. So every time you deal with one of these things, it doesn't have to be dealt with again. So, but the big ones do take a few times for sure. And Boba's been particularly difficult. I've breathed these into my heart center for quite a while, and I still get emotional. So how did I figure this out? This breath work. I had an epic men's retreat. Now, this is not something I would have normally done. I spent money that, probably a normal person wouldn't spend when you're unemployed. It wasn't that much money, but when you're not working, you think, well, you just conserve. But it was the best money I've ever spent. No exaggeration. I went. It was just 3 days, and it changed my life. So, but in this men's retreat run by John Collins and Marshall, I'll put a link to to his website and stuff, so you can take a look for yourself. But we did this breathwork exercise, and it was with Devin, a friend of mine who I made at the retreat. And the object of it is to sit, and you time your breath, so you breathe in the other person's pain. So if you've during the retreat, stuff comes up. People talk about things that they wouldn't talk about otherwise, and things that have hurt them in their life, or things that they're dealing with or struggling. So whatever that person, the thing that stood out in your mind the most during the retreat, whatever they're dealing with, you put that in your mind. They breathe out through their mouth. You conceptualize taking the energy from that negative thing. Breathe it in through your nose into use your conscious attention, put it into your heart center, and then breathe it out your mouth. And then the person does the opposite. So you're transmuting each person's energy while you're staring into the eyes of another man, which is, most people find extremely awkward, but I found particularly easy with Devin. So we did this exercise, and it did a lot for me. I felt the energy lift. So then I thought, well, why can't I do that for myself? So that's how I got to this concept of breathing it into your heart center. Now, I know I got to there on my own. I figured this out on my own, but I know there is breathwork exercises to do this. I again with it, like yesterday I described in the video where I've independently figured out the chakras colors. This came to me, and then I figured out that there is methods of breathwork. So if I'd have just gone and listened, I would have been able to do this before. But anyway, long story short, transmutation of energy is important. Now, this technique, use it. Anytime anything negative, or I did it again, anything low vibration pops up into your head, think about that and then focus on your heart center and breathe with it. Okay. So now we get to the purpose of this video in the first place. Pets. So we have Nala over here sleeping, snorting away, and we have 2 cats. We have my son lives with us and he has his dog, and we have Tilly now. But so they're obviously very important to us, and they come as gifts. So I have no doubt, like, these beings are not just animals. They're conscious spiritual beings. They inhabit these bodies the same way we do. So their sentience is lower because the animal that they're inhabiting isn't capable of formulating rocket equations, but they are very much capable of giving love, and that is the purpose of them. So we had Boba. Boba was several years ago. It was about 3 years, 2.5 years ago. We got her, and she was special. We bought her from a backyard breeder, but my wife was compelled to get this dog. I can't describe how adamant she was we were going to get this dog. And now I know that we needed to get this dog. This was a lesson for me. Some dogs are just here to give you love and maybe test your patience a little bit, like Nala. Back when I wasn't awake, she was extremely taxing on my patience because I have autism, and you know, all these sounds and these sounds of licking and chewing and this right here, the snorts, would drive me insane. They don't bother me anymore because I understand what's going on. But Boba's purpose was a little bit deeper as far as I'm concerned. So I'm gonna open this window. It's getting pretty hot. The whole point of Boba. Well, let's tell the story first. So we got the dog, and she was sick from day one. She had a kidney disorder. We found out later. So we struggled to put weight on her. She had skin issues, autoimmune issues. We fed her everything possible. We did everything we could to try to keep her healthy. And during my 3-day enlightenment period, plus the soul boot camp that followed, Bo was a teacher for me. I'm not exaggerating. Like, I saw the consciousness in that animal. A dragonfly just flew by the front of the car. I saw it with my own eyes. It was undescribable. Like, she showed me how to ground myself on the ground. She taught me things. It wasn't exactly telepathic, but it was damn close. And she was showing me in various ways how to do things to get by in this world, to have a better time of it. And it was amazing. Anyway, she was in her perfect health at when I had this enlightenment and afterwards. She looked amazing, and then it went downhill. So after the soul boot camp, oh, poor Nolly, you're getting hot. Hang on. Gotta open some windows. Okay, so after the soul boot camp, she went downhill physically. So this was pretty traumatic because that dog was special for everybody in the family. All the kids loved her. my wife had this very special attachment relationship with her, and connection, and it was difficult. It was one of the hardest things I've ever had to do. She had, I won't describe what happened, but her kidneys started to fail. So she one day she just stopped eating. She got skinnier and skinnier. Her skin condition got worse. We took her into the vet, and it was clear her kidneys weren't working. So, we left her at the vet, the animal clinic, which those people are amazing, by the way. And they nursed her back to health, at least enough that we could take her home. And there's some breath work. We took her home, and we got to spend an extra, I think it was 4 or 5 days with her. And then, I mean, her kidneys are failing, so there's only so much you could do. And one night, right before she left us, this was the big lesson for me. This was to show me how the soul inhabits the body. So we went to bed. We knew she was sick. She was going downhill. And then about 3 in the morning, there was a huge ruckus. She was struggling. So to try and let Amanda sleep, I took Bo out into the living room, and we had her little bed there. We put her on the bed. She settled in, and then I fell asleep on the couch. And then it was about an hour and a half. I woke up to complete chaos. So it was like there was a wild animal in the house, and she was gone. So it was to show me, like, she physically was there, the animal was there, but Boba was gone. The soul had left, and it was to show me how the soul inhabits the body. Now, the body she chose to inhabit on this incarnation was a mess. It was a genetic mess. It had kidney problems. She, the higher Boba, the soul of Boba, made this dog a wonderful creature to have in our home. When she left, I had a wild animal. She was neurotic, couldn't stop pacing, couldn't stop looking in every direction. She was gone. You could see the terror in that dog's eyes. She's so confused. And frankly, it wasn't as difficult for me to say goodbye, because I knew that she was already gone. The dog was gone. Boba's gone. This poor animal's just suffering, and the body needs to be let go. So we took her in. We had the vets euthanize her, and her ashes are on the dresser still. So we still haven't said completely goodbye to that. So you'll notice in the intro video that I mistakenly said Bo when I was talking to Tilly this morning. She was watching some ducks playing or feeding. And that happens constantly. So I'm not sure if anyone believes in reincarnation, but I know it's true. It is the way it works. There's no doubt in my mind anymore. I have memories of a few of my past lives. They're just bits and pieces, but I know them to be not of this life. But they're not me. Like, they're not the combination of my soul and this body, this human incarnation, this Jason. So there'll never be another Jason. Maybe 90% of the being that's down here living on this thing is the higher self, but there's still the 20% that comes from this being that we're inhabiting. So my point is, I believe, I know that Tilly is Bo. It happened very strangely how we ended up with Tilly, and we waited as long as we could because we needed a dog in the house. But one day, just randomly, something popped up on Amanda's Facebook feed that there was a dog. The price was perfect. It was from a very reputable breeder. Like, she's a veterinarian. She breeds multiple. She has multiple breeding pairs in her kennel. She shows the dog. She does all the genetic tests. It was at an affordable price because they happened to be in the middle of a move. She was the last puppy left, and they were going to keep her as one of their show dogs. We ended up with a beautiful German Shepherd with perfect health and show dog condition and with the personality that is Boba. But this go around, Boba gets a better body. Boba gets to not have to inhabit a defective vessel. So, long story short, if your intuition, if your heart tells you that you should get an animal or that you need a pet, or do it. They're gifts. They're here to give us love, right, Bean? And and it's one of the best things you can do, to give yourself that little energy boost, to give yourself some love that's unconditional, that you know, when you're feeling down, they definitely, just touching them brings you energy. So, like another story, when I was going through my soul boot camp, I found a new appreciation for Nala. Like I said, she frustrated me before, but during the Christmas time, the Christmas break, when I was going through all of this, I found a new appreciation for her, and I immediately was shown that holding a dog and loving a dog gives you energy. It raises your vibration. So I called her my little, well, her nickname's Bean, and I called her my little energy bean ever since. So anyway, that's the moral of the story for today. I think that's where I'll leave it. I was going to talk about grounding. I will talk about that tomorrow. That was a lesson I learned from Boba. So my daughter's just about ready to start riding, and I don't know, she's been at it for about 20 minutes. So I'm going to take the short drive back over and go watch those beautiful animals and watch her absorb some energy from those spiritual beings that she loves to ride so much. So yeah, we'll leave it there. Breathe into your heart center. So I hope this video finds you well. I love you all, and we'll see you tomorrow. Look at this guy. Aren't you just beautiful? Gonna go show us how to run? No? There he goes.